Hello, everyone, and welcome to our show, Revealing the Local Heroes. Here is where we introduce you to the people performing extraordinary activities in their respective fields. We share stories that inspire, impact our lives, and compel us to think. So, if you're keen to know who is the next local hero on our show, kindly subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends, family, so that our local heroes reach out to every house there. We have today with us one of the world's youngest headmaster, the one who was recognized by BBC, that is British Broadcasting Corporation, in the year 2009 as the youngest headmaster in the world at the age of 16. He's none other than Babar Ali sir from Murshidabad, West Bengal. We are honored to have you, sir. Welcome to the show.
Namaskar.
So, without wasting our time, we'll start with our session. And, sir, moving to our first question, can you tell us, sir, how your journey began towards being a headmaster, sir?
So, you see, I am from Murshidabad district in the state of West Bengal, and it is near Indo-Bangladesh border. So, one of the border district. And so, in the year of 2002, when I was a student of class 5 and a boy of 9 years old, my father, he admitted me 10 kilometers far away school. And after returning from my school, I saw the children like my age. They are working in the fields or grazing cattle. Girls, they are working at their houses, or many of the children, they are also collecting garbage as the rag pickers from nearest city. So I collected 8 of them, include my sister, and started teaching in our family backyard under a guava tree in our family backyard. So in that time, there was no particular syllabus. Whatever I have learned from my own school, I used to share with those children. So my motto was at first to teach others. So I loved to teach at first. Gradually, it became my passion, my nice dream, and my heart. So I realized that I myself getting education, but if I can do something for others, maybe it will be better for our society. Even since my childhood, Swami Vivekananda's, who is my inspiration and role model, his message, service to man is service to God. It also inspires me to continue my mission. So, so this is the initial journey, and later we can
Yes, sir.
share more.
So, sir, tell us how was your experience in the very beginning when you started teaching to these small kids? How was your experience, sir?
So, madam, you see, so when the village where I am coming from, it is a remote one, far from the age of modernization. So more than 18 years ago, the situation was ours. So when I founded Anando Shiksha Niketan, our school name, Home of Joyful Learning, the village elders were very skeptic to educate their children, as because they were not educated themselves. Hence, they used their children as the helping hand. To send their children at our school, the first question they ask that how education will be important, even who cannot afford 2 square meals a day, and to educate girls, they will not find husbands. Actually, early marriage problem existed, but I ignored all the criticism and went ahead with my plans. On the other hand, there was some negative people who always tried to discourage me, societal problems, religious problems. So these kinds of problems I have faced since my childhood. I had to suffer much, struggle much, but I did not give up hope. I hoped against hope and fought tooth and nail to combat all the adversities.
So, sir, when you mentioned that you have faced some societal or religious problems, can you mention few of them for us? So, what all problems did you go through?
You see, when I started our school, so at first, my mother, she was the first person who came forward to help me. Then my father, he also came forward to help me, though he had a doubt that because he had an ambition to see me as an administrative officer. So at first he thought that if I can share my own lessons with others, maybe my own education will be hampered. So he warned me not to continue this work. But later, when he convinced that I am doing a good work, he came forward to help me. And my whole family was very supportive since my childhood, I mean, since inception. But on the other hand, some villagers, they thought that what he is doing. So I means they mentally keep harassing me that there is no need of modern education. It looks like that. And what is the importance of education? Why girls will be allowed to get education? Now the situation is improving now day by day. But these kinds of problem, and you see, to give the free education, to collect books, to collect chalks, everything, it was difficult for me. So now I am going to share 2 3 stories to you. So when I was a student of class 6 in the year of 2003, so every day I asked for broken chalk from my school teachers. She was one of the senior most teacher, Mrs. Boyjonti Tewari from our school. Um, so one day he asked our classmates that what he is doing with those broken chalks. Is he writing something in the school premises or blackboards? Then our madam, she told, no, madam, he started a school and he is using those chalks to educate other children. So he became inspired and he also came forward a full box of chalk. The first branch of whole Ramakrishna Modern Mission, it is 3 kilometers from my home. So when I was in primary school that time, they came forward with school dress. So I thought that, and they are doing so much philanthropic work. So I thought that if I can meet with them, maybe they can also help us. So in that age, I visited along with our students, shared about our thoughts. At first, the headmaster monk, Swami Gyanalokananda, he was amazed that how a small boy can run a school. Later, he gave me a book of Swami Vivekananda and advised me to read at least for 5 minutes from that book. And as I mentioned that from that book, I got a quotation, service to man is service to God. It inspired me. Later, from Ramakrishna Mission, they also came forward to help me. And when the local media, they came to know about our initiative, it was from my childhood. The local administration, they all sympathetically, they also came forward to help us. On the other hand, you see in our society, many negative people are also there. So now I want to share with you the positive stories. So there was the mixed feelings, but I already mentioned you that I had a determination. I was determined about my work, so it helps me to continue my mission.
Okay, so there were mixed stories, means there were negative people, there were positive people. Some
Lots of, even it was a life challenge for me because it was not so easy. You see, I already mentioned you about the background, so you can get, I hope you can understand better.
yes, sir, sure. We can try to relate what all you have gone through to get this stage where you are today, sir. Surely we can relate, sir. So, sir, when you started teaching initially, you were also you were also at very young age. So, the students to whom you taught, were they patiently understanding what you're trying to teach them? Were they so much interested in teaching or learning something from you, sir?
You see, I already mentioned that our school name is Ananda Shiksha Niketan, Home of Joyful Learning. So there was no fear, there was no doubt with our. It was a friendly atmosphere at our institution, and of course, students there was also very determined. I said, and I was also very. What I can say you that I was also very punctual. I took it as a serious thing matter, okay, because a serious matter. So of course it was it was a joyful atmosphere, and me and our students both we were enjoyed that platform, that atmosphere, and it helped us a lot to build a good network, good connection between student and teacher, because it looks like that we are all at the same age, or maybe they are younger than me. So there was the good relation between us, and it was a joyful atmosphere.
Okay, okay. Okay, so sir, tell us something about the title which you have got by BBC. British Broadcasting Corporation has recognized you as the world's youngest headmaster. So, what was your feeling, and did you ever expect that you would be recognized by BBC and would have been titled as the world's youngest headmaster? What was running behind your mind, sir?
So, madam, you see, so many of our villagers, also from our school, few of our school teachers, they thought that I cannot do the good performance in our secondary examination, that is 10th standard examination. Maybe I can also fail in the examination. They thought that. But in the year of 2008, when I completed my 10th standard examination, our former Chief Minister Buddhadev Bhattacharya, he felicited me. He also inspired me. He also came forward to help for our institution. So later on, many national news channels, they also uh, awarded me. And then BBC, they also traveled at our place. They also felt very happy, and then they gave me that title, the youngest headmaster in the world. But you see, since my childhood, I did not expect anything. Even I did not thought for all those things. It automatically came, because you see, government, even they do not evaluate our work or anything, but the persons like you, many organizations, many media house, they evaluated our work, and they gave us a recognition. Of course, these kinds of recognition makes us happy and gives more responsibility to do many more works for our society, for our country as well.
So we are really glad to know someone like you, means so down to earth and not working for the title but working for the society. We have many less people like you and we need more of you, sir. We are really fortunate that you have come down to our show. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam, for your invitation. Thank you.
So, sir, tell us something about Anand Shiksha Niketan. What is exactly Anand Shiksha Niketan and what all services do you provide there?
Okay. So when my father, he became convinced that I am doing a good work, then I decided to inaugurate my school. That was in the year of 2003. So I started our journey in the year of 2002, 19th of October. So, and that time in West Bengal, the academic session was May to April. Nowadays, the academic session is January to December. So after my annual examination, March 2003, I decided to inaugurate our school in the month of April 2003. And I collected sari from my mother and the village women, made a pandal, also hired a microphone, and then I invited a degree college principal, retired degree college principal, who was very associated with my father, to inaugurate our school. So he did that. Later, I asked him that what will be the suitable name for our institution, and after some time he told that in your school students are taking their lessons in joyful atmosphere. So Ananda Shiksha Niketan, the home of joyful learning, it will be the suitable name for your institution. So, and since then to till now, more than 6,000 students, they had received completely free education from our institution. Not only that, nowadays we are providing them uh, tiffin, books, uniform, everything. Now, not a single rupees we did not charge from them. It is completely free education we are providing to our students. And not only that, as I think that education is not a bookish knowledge, not a pack of information, but it is man making. So we are also trying to help them to become a real man who can positively impact our society. And from our institution, six girls students, many of the students, they are doing their higher education, but six girls students, after their graduation and teachers training degree, they became the teacher. I mean, they are the qualified teachers. They became the teacher at our institution, include my sister who was my first student. So basically we are providing free education for the underprivileged children, and not only that, to also to help them to become a real man who can positively impact in our society.
Okay, okay. So, sir, how does it work? I mean, financially, do you get donations from some people, organization, or you have a government funded system? How does that work for you?
You see, nowadays our school got affiliation. I means it is affiliated by West Bengal State Education Department and West Bengal Board of Secondary Education, though unaided. I means no government from central or state, they are not supporting anything for our institution, but the well wishers like you, they are helping us. That's why it is possible for us to giving our free service uh, to our students. So basically we are dependent on education.
Okay, okay. So, sir, there's no fund which you get from central government or state government. It is donations or something like that, and education which helps you to keep yourself motivated all the day, we can say.
Yes, you are right, but you see, with the help of the peoples like you, we are able to construct our school building. Our mentor Mrs. Albitra Patel, Mrs. Lakshmi Prachodi, um, they came forward to help us, and the some organizations, the engineer Mr. Sri Ram, um, like that person came forward to help us. Now a good infrastructure is there, and not only that, we have the digital learning system at our such a remote area. We already without any kind of help. And you see, I started our school under a guava tree. Even I did, and now it is recognized institution as per, and we fulfilled all conditions to the government. 17 condition to the government. It was not so easy. We are providing completely free education, but we fulfilled 17 conditions. I mean, so all the conditions to government to get the affiliation. There was no relaxation for us also. So yes, somehow with the help of the peoples like you, the organizations, they are helping us. That's why it is possible for us to providing free education at our institution.
Yes, yes, sir. So, sir, tell us that we have heard in West Bengal there are questions asked about you to the students in their examination papers. So, how is your reaction to that, sir?
At first, I am very sorry to say you that it is not from West Bengal. It is from Karnataka state,
Okay.
not from West Bengal. So Karnataka government in their pre-university textbook, so they included our activities for pre-university English textbook, and the peoples, the teacher, the lecturers, the students from that state, Karnataka, whom I treat, it is my second home. Most of the peoples, most of the help came from there, and the students, they are also very inspired. They also wants to do these kinds of work. They loved me and my work also. I am very much grateful to all of them. In the reaction is, of course, it makes us happy, and the more happy the when the students, they are telling me that, "Sir, we also want to do this kind of work," and those people, they really love me. And you see, during this pandemic session, I am here, but sometimes my mind is there because the love and everything that I have received from them, I cannot mention you in a single word. It is uncountable. And also CBSE 10th standard main course book, English main course book. There is also a chapter about me and our work. And not only that, across the globe, Oxford University Press, Cambridge University Press, many advanced countries like UK, Luxembourg, Uzbekistan, Turkey, Iran, USA, many students, many teachers, they also keep writing us. And many leading institutions in their own syllabus, they are also teaching about our the but our, of course, these are the happiest moment, big recognition. And more, I am more happy when the students are writing that they are also started different kinds of initiatives. So this is the ultimate goal. This is the ultimate goal.
Yes. So, sir, it's like a very proud moment for us that not only Indian universities but foreign universities also have recognized you and the work done by you. It's really a very big moment for all of the Indians, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. So, moving ahead, sir, you have mentioned that your idol is Swami Vivekanand. So, sir, why Swami Vivekanand? We want to know the reason behind your worshipness towards him, sir.
Okay. So you see, since my childhood, of course, I already mentioned you the local Ramakrishna mission. It is 3 kilometers. The monk Swami Gyanalokananda, at first who inspired me, he gave me that book. And you see, not only this is not only the matter. Matter is, yeah, I have gone through his works. I have gone through his messages, and I tried to realize those messages. And not only that, I also tried to actualize those messages in our real life. So whenever I realize or I read or I remember his messages or his works, it gives me more energy, more inspiration, more energy. And so, and you see, and after that, now I am convinced that nothing can stand against firm determination, firm conviction, and firm will. The only things you should have into your heart are courage, purity, honesty, and above all, love. Actually, I heard the call of love in the core of my heart and proceed and ultimately succeed. I think we should have the motto: we must do something extraordinary in the sole human life. We must leave a mark on the soil in this art. So these lines I also learned from Swami Vivekananda. So the realization and actualization, this is the most important thing. And not only that, many great leaders, they also left message for us. And the simple message is be good and do good.
So, sir, it shows that you have read a lot of books about Swami Vivekananda, and it has been shown in your teaching and in your words that how influenced you are by his teaching, sir.
Not exactly that I have read lots of books of Swami Vivekananda, but simply I realized it came from my heart. Even from the 2 3 quotation, if you realize and if you actualize in your life, I think that is enough. The realization and act. For that, you need not to read lots of books or everything. And every great person's message is same, looks like same. Most important thing that how we are reacting, how we are taking all those messages in our real life, the actualization and the realization. This is the most important thing.
Absolutely correct, sir. Very, very true, sir. So, sir, tell us, do you feel that education is the only key where you can change people, or how important it is to be educated according to you, sir?
Education means, of course, to gain knowledge, bookish knowledge is also important thing, because there is no doubt bookish knowledge also more important for us. But on the other hand, real education. What is real education? I already mentioned you that at our institution, we are also trying to help our students. Not only that, wherever I am going, through my words, through my message, I am also trying to inspire our younger generation to to become a real man who can positively impact our society. Because real education is the most important thing. Man making education. You are educated enough, but you are not responsible for others. You are not thinking. you are thinking that I am the God. People are calling us God, it means that I have the supreme power. It looks like that. Many educated people are thinking that. That's not called education. You should be a, it should be a man-making education. That Swami Vivekananda also mentioned about man-making education. That kind of education nowadays we need man-making education. Apart from the bookish knowledge and everything, because bookish knowledge is also important thing. So man-making education.
So, sir, do you feel that there is any sort of need to change our education system, or there is any need to bring reformation in our education system, sir?
You see the education system of Japan. You see the what nowadays the parents, teachers, everybody are encouraging students that score marks and everything. Of course, get to gain knowledge, it is more important things. But in everywhere, marks is not important thing. How your capability and your experience, this is the most important thing. This is the most important thing. And you see, we need to motivate, we need to inspire our younger generation. This is most important thing. It should come from our parents, from our teacher, from our society as well, the motivation and inspiration. Because now younger generation is very advanced and they are very smart. They also wants to do many work, innovative works, social work, so many things they want to do. But we need to inspire them, we need to motivate them, we need to help them. Otherwise, it is not possible for us.
Right, sir, right, sir. So, sir, tell us, sir, what do you feel is the reason behind kids not getting proper education in spite several schemes are run by the government for them? So, what do you feel? What is lacking, sir?
Lacking is, you see, now maybe you see, there is a division of our society. Maybe there is a, and not only that, it is better to say many villagers, they are sometimes, they are also not believing the government schools also. To get something like midday meal, books, shoes, scholars, it looks like that many students enroll themselves, but the proper education, but the for education they are also admitted, they are students in the local English medium schools. So we need to, you see, it is not only the fault of the villagers or the poor peoples. It will the policy makers, the persons who are associated with the education system, they should think about these things, that why the government institutions, because in government institutions you can get qualified teachers, infrastructure, lots of monies are invested there, but why this is the problem, why there is no proper education? We need to think, because you see, in simple we can blame, we can blame, but why this kind of situation? Who are responsible for that? The teaching fraternity, or the policy makers, or the parents, or the so who are responsible for them? We need to think all the, because every year the policy makers are coming with different kinds of policies and everything, but ultimately there is no result. Better to say there is, of course there is a result, but better to say there is no sufficient result we are getting. And nowadays during this pandemic, we are from village, what is going on? The students, they are about to forget about their studies, because many institutions who can afford, they can getting their education through online education, but the students like us, who will take care for them? So that's why I told you there is the division in our society. So these students nowadays, even again, they engage themselves with different works as the child labor. Otherwise, you see, there is no option more. Even the teachers like us, we taught our students. We also visited lots of places, but nowadays the only medium is this virtual session and everything. So nothing is in our hand. The situation also not good, but we need to think that in coming years, how we can improve our education system. And as I think that this is for this pandemic, but the online education, this is not the ultimate solution, because learning is a step by step process, because face to face interaction, the friendship, everything is necessary to get the real knowledge, to gain knowledge. So of course we are waiting for the new normal life very soon.
Yes, sir. So it's like all the authorities have to come together, and then only we can bring out the expected results for every child who wishes to acquire education, right, sir?
The people who are telling about the upliftment of education, you see, they are, so I am not criticizing, of course. Of course they achieve that kind of position, of course, that's why they are child, they are going school by car to the private institution. I am not blaming anyone, or because they achieved all these things, there is no doubt. But on the other hand, the other students, only they are getting something but not getting education. Who are responsible for them? Even many teaching staff, many policy makers, they are also not sending their students for the government schools. This is the real fact.
So yes, sir, that's absolutely correct, sir. If reformation is to be brought,
You see, I did my double post graduation, even I did my master degree in English, but our accent, our pronunciation, everything is like the rustic person. Because why? Because we learned English alphabet when I was in 5th standard, not from the school, from my father. That was not our fault, that was the fault of policymakers. But nowadays what happened? A 3 years old, a 5 years old boy, even many students, they are 7th standard, 8th standard students, they are sending me later, their English is better than me. You see, this is for our society, the division, it came from our society. Okay.
correct, sir. Yes, sir. We have to focus on the other side also, sir. When we talk about reformation, or we talk about that children should be educated or the literacy rate should be increased, so we have to focus on the other side also, sir. That is absolutely correct, sir.
Quantity as well as the quality, and the man making education, both are important nowadays. All these things are important nowadays.
Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely correct, sir. So, sir, moving ahead to the next question, sir, tell us what is your vision in your life, sir? What motto do you have?
You see, education for all with equal opportunity, this is my dream. But it is not only possible for me to actualize this long cherished dream if the peoples like you, if the younger generation can come forward for the children who are still need education and quality education, then only it is possible. So I am trying my level best, and I am also trying to share my experience, beliefs, feelings with others, and trying to inspire them to come forward to help children who still need education. I hope maybe one day we can get a good result.
Sure, sir. We'll definitely get, sir. We need more of like you, sir. So surely, maybe not today, but tomorrow, we'll surely get the expected results, sir.
Thank you.
So, sir, last question, sir. Do you wish to convey any message to our viewers or to the society, sir?
There is no particular message from me, but the simple message: be good and do good. And lastly, one quotation from Swami Vivekananda: go on bravely and do not expect success in a day or year. Always hold on to the highest. Be steady. Avoid jealousy and selfishness. Be obedient. Be eternally faithful to the cause of truth, humanity, and your country, and you will move the world. And these two lines should be embossed on the tablet of our mind. My list to go before I sleep, and my list to go before I sleep. So thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It was great talking to you. And yes, sir, we'll try to follow all the things you have mentioned, and also we'll try to come together to bring the reformation which we all want to see in our India, sir. So surely we'll try to implement, and thank you so much, sir. So everyone who wish to who wishes to connect with Babar sir, I have mentioned the Instagram link below in the description box. You can message him there. He'll surely connect with. And don't
Or
forget
you can
to,
share our email ID also, baburali@gmail.com.
yes, we'll share the website link also, and the
Website link will be better because
yes, sir.
sometimes Instagram I am not handling. So email and website link you can share with them.
Sure, sir. We'll share the website link of Anand Shantiniketan also in the description.
Shiksha Niketan, yes.
Yes. So
Shiksha
whoever wishes to connect with sir, you all can go to the description box and can connect with him. And don't forget to share our channel, subscribe to it, and stay tuned. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you for your invitation, and I wish you all the best for your channel also and for you also. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.